Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Biz Talk Live Show. Yes, we're here for another Thursday live show where we are talking with entrepreneurs and small business owners about their journey so that they can help you, so you can be inspired and you can be empowered to pursue and accomplish your dreams. I am your host, Shanté R. Roddy. I'm so happy to be here. So happy to have you here. So happy to have our guest here, Tasheka Green. We're going to be talking with her. I just want to let you guys know, if you come on this broadcast, please like us, share the broadcast, comment on it. If we do not get to your questions during the broadcast, we always follow up. So the party really does happen after the show. So again, sit back, relax, enjoy our special guest. So Tasheka Green, I'm going to ask that you tell us a little bit about yourself, tell us about your business and who it is that you serve. And then we're going to ask you some questions about your journey today.
Yes. Hi. Well, first I want to say I'm giving honor to God who's truly the head of my life. I am thankful and grateful to be here with you today, Shanté, and thank you for sending me the invitation to join you today and Biz Talk Live and to share with the world all about To Everything There Is a Season. So I am Dr. Tasheka L. Green. I am the president, the CEO, and founder of To Everything There Is a Season Incorporated. I say this all the time that I am a servant leader, that I'm here to help and to serve people to take what's on the inside of them and help them to bring it on the outside so they can walk in their purpose and achieve greatness.
I love that. So servant leader, I always talk about being a servant leader. So maybe we can get into that. But can you tell us, how long have you been in business for yourself?
Yes, Shanté. So I've been in business for myself for 4 years, since March of 2014. But when I began the business in March of 2014, it started off more as a foundation where I started this memorial foundation to carry out the legacy of my mother. And so when I started it then, and you know, we can get into that story now, or, you know, it may lead to another story, but it started in 2014 just simply as that. But it evolved now into a full-fledged business where I am a full-time education strategy consultant, also a coach, transformational coach, inspirational leader, author, and also a publisher. And so from 2014 to 2018, it has grown in several different capacities, being birthed again from the passing of my mom, starting off with the foundation to carry out her legacy. And now the work has evolved into me being a full-time consultant, coach, and speaker.
I love that. Yeah. So let's stay here real quickly, because I'm so excited because we have similar stories. Like, I started full-time in 2014. I lost my mom pretty abruptly in 2016. And that's actually what you're doing and with your foundation and passing on the legacy is something that I'm passionate about, that I want to do in the name of my mom, on behalf of her and our family. So if you could tell us a little bit more about that, like, how did you come to the point from her passing to saying this is something that you wanted to do? Like, this was your area, your purpose to serve.
Sure. So, Shanté, my mom passed in 2010. It was abruptly as well. So she passed away in March of 2010. And she was 53 years old. She was diagnosed with stage 4 stomach cancer. She received the diagnosis in February, and 30 days later, she had passed away. During that time also, I was 5 months pregnant with my daughter, who's 8 years old now. And I always say that legacy is not what you accomplish, but it's what you prepared others to do. And so with that being said, you know, my mother had prepared me to really serve, to help others, to love. And so that was what she stood for. She was a virtuous woman of great strength and character, scholarly lady, always there for people and a resource for others. And so when she passed away, she passed that mantle on to me. And with that being said, that's when I just said, okay, I want to carry out her legacy. And so I started the gala, and it was started as a scholarship fund to raise funds to actually put into a scholarship to give and help students with books and, you know, food and things of that nature, believing that it will grow to be able to pay for an entire 4 year for a student, or if not for one. And I look back even over my path and the steps that I went through, that, when I was in college and I didn't have the money to graduate at the literally like 2 weeks before graduation, someone blessed me with $12,000 so that I could graduate. And so you always supposed to take what you get and be able to do that as well. So just praying and believing that I will be able to do that as well for a student. So with it being also a scholarship foundation, it evolved into the Deborah C. Bulgin Women of Virtue Walking in Excellence Award, because my mother, as I stated, was a woman of virtue who walked in excellence. And I wanted to continue her legacy and honor women who were giving back to their community, making an influential impact into the world. And so not only do we give out scholarships at our annual award gala, which is the second Saturday in October of every year, we honor women, about 11 to 12 women also, who are influential. And so from that point, this has been carrying on again since 2014. So we're going into year 5 now of our gala, and I celebrate that. But in the path that I had to take, where I got to the point I am today, in July of 2018, on July 19th to be exact, I was informed that I had 45 days before my job was going to be terminated. Oh, wow. And so I've been in education since January of 2001. I've been in education for 18 years. And to me, it was like almost a career suicide, because I was at the peak of my career. I had achieved so much in 18 years. I was started out as an elementary school teacher in 3rd grade and 5th grade. I did that for 4 years. And then I became a behavior intervention specialist for a year. I was a talent and development teacher for a year. And then I was a assistant principal for 2 years, a principal for 8 years. Then after that, I wanted to expand myself more than beyond a school. And so I became what was called a director of school performance, and then an office of systemic specialist, where I helped schools to improve their performance. And then it got to the point where I helped an entire system. And then after that, I became what was called known as a regional assistant superintendent, where I oversaw 15 schools in a large urban school district. So that was almost 6,000 students, 2,500 employees. And this is where I was faced now with saying, you have 45 days basically to find another job. And so that emotional stress, it didn't wear me down, but it got me to a place to really say, God, am I in your will? Am I aligned to what you have me to do? And I had to learn the difference between being called and being chosen, because we can be called to do something, but chosen to do something else. So with that being said, I had to step back, and I really had to trust God for where I am in my life at that point, because I was, and I'm going to be very honest, I was offered something, but when I was offered it, to me, it was a form of basically, this is how you think of me, because it was less than my work and than my worth. And I knew that the impact that I had on the inside of me was a global impact rather than just isolating myself to one little place. And so I really stepped back, and I just prayed, and I just continued to listen to the voice of God and didn't want to hear any other noises around me, just the voice of God. And so with that being said, God said, just trust me, and I'm going to take care of everything that you need. And so with that being said, that's how I got to become today a full-time education consultant, coach, and inspirational speaker, because my job, that door closed, but God opened up so many doors that led to some endless opportunities and possibilities. But remember, it all started with my mom, because a good woman leaves an inheritance for their children's children. And so she left me that inheritance. She left me that legacy, and she taught me how to be a confident, how to be a powerful, how to be a sound person that you can build good relationships with to evolve into being a successful person. And that has led me to where I am today.
I like that. As you were talking about your journey, because I know I know it, I've seen it, and having a career is such a big part of our lives when we're working for a company. I know plenty of people living in corporate America, And right now we're dealing with a furlough with the
Yes.
government. Many people are being affected, whether it work for them or not, or they have a business and they're a contractor. Can you talk to us about what it means to have God as your source? Because I try to talk to people about this, especially because people think that they are a slave to their job. When your job is not your source, and how you were able to lean on your source to help you make that transition when you had when you abruptly put in a situation where you had to make some decisions with regards to your career and what you thought may have been security, right? Wasn't all that secure and can be taken from you in a matter of a second. So can you just
Exactly.
take us through your journey and how you were able to navigate that and how you were able to allow God to be your source in that situation
Exactly.
and beyond?
Exactly. And you said some words like abruptly, like my life was abruptly interrupted. You know, you're going, you're walking every day. You're in your norms of which how you usually carry out, going to work, tending to the children. And then all of a sudden here you are at a place where now you're about to lose your job. And I always say it was one of the things that I feared the most that actually happened to me, because I always feared that the situation that I was in, that any day I could lose my job, but not thinking that that was going to be the day. And so when it abruptly happened to me, it's important, like you said, to know that God is your source, because God will lead and guide you to all truth. And so when this transition was taking place in my career, God sent me signs to wonder exactly, I wouldn't say wander, but he sent me signs to help with clarity. I would put it that way. And so, and I'll share with you some of the signs that God shared with me. It was one, I actually had a dream. The dream that I had, actually saw myself sitting down with our new leader. And I was in my house, and I had walked down my steps. And when I walked down my steps, the new leader was at the table. And I actually started talking to this new leader about serving with your heart and not your mind. And so we began to have this conversation. And then after the conversation, I said, I will keep you in prayer, and then walked up the steps. And then within a short time after that, here I am in a boardroom, literally for 5 minutes, basically saying, you're about to lose your job. And so then I had another sign. I was actually in a conference. And when I was walking out the conference, I was leaving, and I had my bags on my hand. And when I had my bags on my hand, one bag was sitting on one of my bracelets, and I had this beautiful gold pearl bracelet that my mother had given me when I got married. And the bracelet actually broke, Shanté. And when I went to bend down to pick up the bracelet, I heard God say, don't cast your pearls to swines. And so with that being said, the image of me talking to the new leader in my home, and then having this board meeting, and then also the pearls, not giving pearls to swine. Remember, I said that I was offered something less than my work and than my work, because why would I continue in a place where I felt not valued or appreciated? And so, so when you know God and you're connected to your source is going to give you light. Your source is going to give you truth. Your source is going to give you information. It's not going to steer you in the wrong path. It may not feel good because the situation didn't feel good. It may not look good, but you have to not lean to your own understanding, but you have to understand and lean to God's understanding, because his word said, acknowledge me in all my ways and I will direct your path. And so all I had to do was acknowledge God. I had to renounce my plan, and I had to acknowledge the plan of God and let it line back up to what he originally assigned for me to do. And so with that being said, that God will take a situation, even though it may not look good and feel good and sound good when we're in it, we just have to trust him. And I just said this today, when people say, well, trust the process. Really, what does that really mean? Right. Trusting the process means having the faith and the confidence to go in, walk through, and come out, and knowing that God is at the end of that, and everything is going to be good. And so I always say that one act of faith can release you into the plan of God, and it will make you whole. And when I say make you whole, every aspect of my life, from mentally to physically to spiritually to financially, has aligned back up to the plan of God. I have more peace. I have more joy. I have more time for my family, for my husband, for my children,
Yes.
for my church. I can give more, I can serve more, and I can do what I love and enjoy to do without any distractions and without any type of thing that's going to come and try to make me, I would say, serve them, because people can make themselves little gods in your life. And then if you continue to look at what you're doing and say, there is no other way, you're going to be bound to the way that they want you to be. And so I'm so glad that who the Son is set free is free indeed. And so God is your source. So even though you're in a furlough, just know God knew about the furlough before it happened. He knew the beginning and he already knows the end. But while you're in this, what are you doing? How are you maximizing the time to leverage what's on the inside of you to get it outside? How are you sitting down and having more time with God and praying and worshiping? How are you serving more, helping more, loving more? Or are you just focused on you? Purpose is bigger than you, and you have a greater impact than you even know.
Wait, amen. Oh my goodness. Look, this is speaking like directly to my heart. Like that's my testimonial, you guys.
Yes.
God is definitely your source. I don't care
Yes.
what it looked like. And that's the word that God gave me this morning, is not to lean on my own understanding.
Exactly.
Right? So he knows what's best for us. He knows more than we do.
Exactly.
About our situation. He knew before we even got in the position that we're in. So
exactly.
It's a matter of trusting him no matter what the situation looks like, right?
No matter.
And just following his lead.
Exactly.
If I do my own thing, I'm gonna leave myself wrong. I already know that.
Listen, that's the truth. And we have steered ourselves wrong, and God had to steer us right back again. And
Yes.
he will get his way. Okay. God will have his way, and he will make us realize, wait a minute, you're doing this all wrong. You need to get back to the place where I need for you to be. And like you said, why we shouldn't have any thoughts about tomorrow. We shouldn't worry about what we're going to eat, what we're going to wear, none of that. We should just be walking in the purpose that God has for our life.
Yes, ma'am. Send that out. Yes, because that's so important. The purpose God has for your life. That is so awesome. So, what I wanted to talk about next, because you mentioned about being a servant leader.
Mm-hmm.
Servant leadership, I think, is so important. Can you talk to us a little bit about what does it mean to you to be a servant leader?
Right. So when I think about being a servant leader, I think about these three words: character traits or characteristics of a person: selfless, humility, and discipline. I say selfless because you should be able to just give of yourself and always think of others in what they need. And when I say that, it really means looking at people as people. So often we look at people as just, I would say irrelevant sometimes, or objects. Like, I'm going to just use them. Let's be real, use them to get what I need. Or, or vehicles, I'm going to use them to, help me get my vision done. But that's not what a servant leader does. A servant leader is selfless. They always have others in their eye view and how they can help and serve and make situations better for others. They're very humble. And I ask this question: what do you want? Do you want to be important, or do you want to be impactful? Do you want to be important, or do you want to be influential? Do you want to be important, or do you want to be inspirational? Maya Angelou said it best: people will forget what you say and what you did, but they're going to remember how you made them feel and how you made you feel. And so with that being said, we want to be selfless, we want to be humble, and we want to be disciplined. When you look at servant leaders, they are very disciplined. They are consistent in their ways. They're consistent in their patterns. They're consistent in their thoughts. And consistency and discipline is not the same as rigid, because you have to be flexible and when you're doing things, because you can't be stuck in your own way, but you're driven by determination and perseverance and consistency. So when I think about a servant leader, I think of people that put others before them, that are humble in their approach, and they're very disciplined around the way they go about to do things.
That's amazing. I had to put that up on the screen.
Thank you.
Because being a servant leader is so important, and especially this day and age when there's such a lack sometimes of integrity and leadership, and people are so focused on titles and who's popular.
Yes.
That has nothing to do about anything.
Exactly.
Like you said, are you an influence? Who are you impacting? Right?
Exactly.
Are you making a positive impact on the world?
Exactly.
And what you were brought on this earth to be able to do.
Exactly. You're right. You're right. Making your mark, making your own footprints, making a difference. Exactly.
Exactly. So would you say, as if someone is a servant leader, that you can also thrive in business, that you can have abundance, that you can make money in business as a servant leader?
Most definitely. I would say you will be more successful if you are a servant leader. Business is a matter of human service. And in order to be successful in your business and to soar in your business, it's a matter of human service, which means that you have to build relationships, one, with people. Not only build those relationships, but you have to make those relationships last, which is built on trust. And so if you have these relationships that are now lasting relationships because you have thought of other people and gave of yourself selflessly, you were humble and you were disciplined and consistent in making sure that they felt like they were the most important person in the world, that is going to continue and have a sustainable opportunity for your business to continue to last and grow because you have invested in what is most important, which is human services.
Okay, everybody. That's so important.
Mm-hmm.
Human services, building lasting relationships.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know any entrepreneur, small business that's not in the relationship business. That's why I tell people focus on who you can serve, meeting the need. There are people that they have a pain point, they have a problem, they have a need that they're waiting for you to solve for them.
Exactly. Exactly. And know who you're working with. Know your customers. Know your clients. Know what they need. Most often, when I'm with my clients, or I'm working with organizations, or I'm coaching, individuals or teams, I truly let them know that I am here to help. I am here to make things go right. And also, I'm here to help you to get to where you need to be. And so, with that being said, it's more around what do you need? And then how can I help you to get there? And then I can provide you with those systems and those structures and those resources to help you to get to where you need to go. Because it's not about me. It's, again, not going back to being important, but being influential and inspiring. It's not about, walking away and then sharing, oh, I made a difference. I did that. No, it's no goodness of my own. Everything is because of Christ who lives on the inside of me. It's in him I live, move, and have my being. Without him, I would be nothing. So now how is my light on the inside shining on somebody else so that it can make a difference in them? And so again, it's all about human services, building relationship and what they need and helping them to get to where they need to go.
Okay. You guys, helping people get to where they need to go. And the money will come.
Yes,
Don't focus on the money.
Listen,
you think right. You would think it would be simple, but there's multi-million-dollar companies, billion-dollar dollar companies that haven't grasped the concept. Okay. So it's not, you can't have the focus on the money, the business, it's about meeting the needs of the people, and you will be rewarded. Trust me.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And my motto, I say all the time, is I am still here living a purposeful life. So if you're still here and you wake up every day and you have breath in your body, then the expectation is, God, what do you have for me today? Who is it that I need to make an impact and a difference for today. And like you said, all of the other things, that it'll line up. It'll line up, and it'll be put in perspective. And like I shared with you, when I was eliminated in July, and I took just a couple months off. So I actually, when I say took a couple months off, that means I just isolated myself in a place. I didn't go to any events. I did not, talk on the phone a lot. I didn't hang out. I just stayed, and I just wanted to hear the sound that I needed to hear from God so I can move forward, because it's a difference between noise and sound. I didn't need noises in my life. I needed one sound, and I needed that one sound to give me clarity about the work that I was called and now what I'm chosen to do. And so with that being said, that's when I started to really map out what is it that you are going to do. And basically, I've been called to be an educator. I've been called to teach. I've been called to help. I've been called to serve. That's what I've been called to do. But I was chosen to do this. And so with that being said, I had to use that gift and use the talent and use the preparation period. I say this, that I'm a true example of when preparation meets opportunity, it results in success. Your preparation period prepares you for what you're becoming. And so everything that I learned as an educator in the 18 years, and even in the past 4 years, I have gained a wealth of knowledge. I had the opportunity to go to Harvard Graduate School of Education to actually learn about a program that will help educators, and not only educators, I think it just helps people to get better in general, to improve themselves. It really lets you reflect on you and how you can assess and adjust and get better. So I had that opportunity. I had an opportunity to be videotaped doing this work and being shared worldwide through the program. So I said all of that to say the preparation prepared me for what I was becoming. And so in that isolated period, I had an opportunity again to just really listen to the sound of God, what I was needed to do next, and how to execute that. And then strategically, God placed the people that I needed in my life during that time to get me to where that was. And I acknowledge and I want to honor my pastor, Bishop Donald Wright and Lady Nakia Wright, because the wisdom that he pours in me every Wednesday night at Bible study, Friday night at prayer, and Sunday at service helped me to be better. I also want to celebrate people like, Lisa Jones, who's a great business coach, who asked me, like, what was my exit strategy? And when I didn't have one, and God was my exit strategy, now that was my exit strategy. What's next? And help me to get organized and structured. And, thank you, people celebrating people like, Dr. Larry White, DMV Masterminds, for seeing something in me and, helping me, and Peggy Morris from Sister and Sisters. I'm calling these names because these are people who strategically say, I see it in you. This is what I'm going to do to help you to get to where you need to go. So I said that to say, in this state of preparation and strategically, having the people in place and only listen to the sound and not the noises, it allowed me to look for opportunities in big organizations and nonprofits to do the work that I'm doing. And so with that being said, not just restricting myself again to what I was just doing, but now branching myself and broadening my territory. I guess that was a good way to say that.
That is so fantastic. We have so many similarities.
Yes.
Because what I talk about a lot of time is that about the grieving process that a lot of people don't even consider or know that they're going through. When you pour all of yourself into anything, and that includes corporate America, your job where you spend most of your time. And when I was beat up. I mean, I had left a very tough assignment that God had me on. And I couldn't just jump right into another job. I couldn't just jump into entrepreneurship. I had to take that time, like what you're talking about. I think I took about 2 or 3 months trying to figure out, God, what is the next step? What is it that you're going to have me to do? So I was very prayerful. I was in my word. I was just taking time for me to get healing and restoration. So I just wanted to just spotlight that point right there, because a lot of people don't understand that. Is that anytime you have a loss, there is grief. So you have to go through the process, the grieving process.
Exactly.
Allow yourself to.
And Shanté, I want to just add that I did go through a grieving process. And many people, I say this, another thing I always say, people see the product, but they don't see the process. And so a lot of people didn't even know that I was eliminated from my job. And a lot of people didn't know that, I would wake up and, crying, not because I was worried at all. I was just in an emotional state of how can people treat people this way, especially when you're giving your all and you're putting your 100% and beyond your 100%, and you're going your 212 degree, and you're operating in a capacity because you have other people in mind and not yourself, and you're doing what you need to do, and then you come to it and it's like, okay, but thank you, not even thank you. You will be eliminated in 45 days. No, thank you for your service. No, thank you for your work. It's over and you're done. We not even wish you the best, And so I just couldn't fathom, because, the way I love people and how I love very hard. I will love you to greatness. If you tell me that you want to do something, I'm going to worry you and I'm going to push you and I'm going to love you until it gets there. And so me having that love and that compassion, I just couldn't understand how people can make people feel like they're less than or unworthy or, not valued or appreciated. And so that was my grieving. I already knew that God had me, but I just couldn't understand how people could treat people in that type of way.
Oh my God. When you hear people talk about divine connections, that's a real thing. This is one. Like this is a divine connection right here. This is like what it looks like. I mean, you were just speaking to my spirit, like everything that I have gone through and that what the Lord has spoken to me and is speaking to me as we're sitting here speaking. So that's so important. That's the same thing that I said. I just couldn't understand. And so I made it a point that when I got into business, I would not do that. I was going to help companies do it a better way, to be servant leaders, to put customers first, to treat people right with respect and appreciate them, give thanks where thanks is due. Because a lot of times that is something that's really missing in business, in corporate America. And it takes us, being that light in the world, being that light in the business, letting people know that you can serve, you can be kind, you can be appreciative, and you can still make money doing it.
Exactly. You're right.
Right? But take those times. So know that grief is real. You're going to go through that. Loss is real. You're going to have losses. Grieve those losses. Take the time to do that. That's necessary. So you're going to go through some tests, right? So that's something that you're not going to avoid, but it's preparing you for greater.
Exactly. Prepares you greater, and also your test gives you also the power and authority to speak of things that you know about. Because I could never help anybody. I could never say to another person that lost their mom that I understand if I never gone through that. I can never tell, people that are going through the furlough right now to just trust God if I hadn't went through the same situation not too long ago. I couldn't tell people, about when at my worst seasons of my life that I was standing in the food pantry line, about how God is going to make a way that he's never seen the righteous forsaken nor a seed beg for bread if I hadn't gone through that. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm just sharing a little bit of my testimony that there's things that I have been through that, that God has sent me through these tests, but it was for me not to repeat the test. It was for me to come out, learn the lesson, and teach somebody the principle. And so I tell people all the time, it's the worst thing to have to do a course over again for just one test. You don't want to do any repeats. Learn the lesson and teach somebody else the principle.
It's so important. And I say that all the time. Learn the lessons. Right. It's not for you to keep making these mistakes, but to teach others, to let your life, right, your testimony show others the way, a better way, right? So
Right.
that's why we're here. That's what you go through these things. So that's so right. If I had never gone through all the things that and believe me, I've been through some stuff people don't even know the half. Okay.
Yes.
But I'm more compassionate. I have more empathy for people. I can
Exactly.
better help people because I know I went through it. And I know that if I went through it and came out on the other side, I know that you can do it too. And so
Exactly.
anytime I can help somebody, motivate them, encourage them, give them hope to keep going, I'm here for it. And I want to do it because this road of life is hard. And then you add entrepreneurship and owning a business and being responsible, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as a business owner, you are responsible, right? For your client, for your teams, for
Yes.
your employees, for paying the bills,
Yes.
everything that comes along with business. So we understand that it is not an easy thing, but you
And
arrive.
you know what else?
Yes.
What made me just think of when you said it's not easy, and also you have to learn how to know the difference between your wants and your needs.
Yes.
So when you're starting your business and you're in your, business, some things you just can't do anymore. Some places you just can't go. You're gonna have to let your yes be yes and your no be no. You're gonna have to learn that that's balanced. To me, when people say, how do you balance out the things between being an entrepreneur, being a business, being a mother and a wife, it's called say yes to yes and no to no. That's what balance is. You make the choices and you decide, and stop. And I say this, stop being busy and be business and purposeful. Stop being busy. And that's kind of like a pet peeve of mine.
Yes.
When you call people like, oh, I'm just been busy. I've been busy. And, and I'm like, are you busy or are you purposeful? Are you busy or are you productive? Are you just busy because you're trying to avoid stuff and you're procrastinating? Why are you busy? Because being busy, well, you miss out on some opportunities if you're too busy. So just think about it. When I lost my job and then I said I had to take the time off to cut everything off, if I was busy, I wouldn't have saw when those opportunities came forth. And they were real opportunities, not false opportunities that would not be life lasting, but real opportunities that were sent by God.
So be open for the opportunities. Be available. Know when they're there.
Yeah.
And like you're so right. We say a lot of times that we're busy and oh my gosh, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for that. We're trying to manage our schedules and balance everything. And a lot of times we're just spinning our wheels. We're just busy and we're not productive.
Right.
Right. And so then you become unenthused about your business. So do what you were meant to do. So even if that means automating, and which I tell people, delegating, okay, and outsourcing those things that are not your core competency, are things that you're not strong at, okay, or that is your purpose to be doing in your business, because you can't do everything on your own. You're going to need help. Okay.
Right.
And it's not you don't want to be busy. You want to be making sure you're functioning in your purpose and that you are productive.
Yes.
So, and a lot of times we want to keep doing things on our own, and you can't do that and grow.
Exactly.
Right? You're going to burn out.
That is true. You will burn out.
So I could talk like forever. This has been like an awesome conversation. I do want to ask you about collaborations and partnerships, because that's something that I've been pushing, promoting for like the last 3 years, and how important it is for us as business owners to work together. Can you tell us your thoughts on collaborating and partnering with other entrepreneurs and business owners, and how that can help you as a person and also help your business to grow?
Yes. And I'm glad that you said that, because I was thinking when I was talking about some of those great people that have helped and support and collaborated, like you said, with me. I did not definitely want to leave out Trevor Ott from the Black CEO as well, because he now has a saying now where he says 1 + 1 is 2. That's when you cooperate. But when it's 1 + 1 is 11, that's when you collaborate. And so really focusing more on collaboration and how we could, I put it this way, we can do more together. We can help more, we can serve more, we can love more. If it's money, we can make more money if we collaborate together and we know how to collaborate. And when you know how to collaborate, you go in with the intentions of not walking away with the I or me, but walking away with the we and us, because we have a greater impact when we collaborate. And so even you just saying that, I just think of myself, who I like to collaborate all the time. When I'm doing something, I always like to reach out and, to people to see, how would you like to be a part, or things of that nature, and, help and things, because again, it's not about me or I. It's about us and we. We can change a world. We can change a nation. Let's just start with our community. We can change a community. We can change a school. We can change an organization if we can do it together and stop being competitive and be collaborative. The race isn't given to the swift or to the strong, but it's given to the one that endureth until the end. We can endure it together. So let's work together so that we can help more.
That is so fantastic. We need to work together. There's so much we can accomplish together. And oftentimes you hear people say, "Oh, I can't do anything," or "It's just me. What does my voice matter? It doesn't matter if I do what I do." When you come together, and I think we've seen it, like even in this climate of things that's going on of change and these movements, especially around women, right? That when you get together, that is powerful. You can be very impactful.
Exactly.
So instead of thinking about me and I, get together. We and us can change the world.
Yes.
Together. We can make money together. Okay. So like whether you're in the private sector, government sector, I say this all the time. I'm one person. But when you're going after the big guys, those prime contractors, I said there is no reason, why us as small business owners can't get those same multi-million-dollar contracts that these prime contractors are going after if we come together and do it.
That's true.
But ego to the side. Forget about that's my competitor. Competitors partner all the time. All the time. Ask Apple, ask Google, ask Microsoft. Okay, ask Amazon. Do research and see who they're collaborating with, their competition.
Exactly.
So forget about competition. Find ways to collaborate and partner.
Exactly.
Because we can get a lot more accomplished. Okay, so I have one last question for you.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so if you had a magic stick and there was anything you can change in the world, what would that be?
So if it was anything that I could change in the world,
yes,
it would be the people that exist within it. Because what I see is that when we have the heart and the mind, the heart to love, the mind to change, then we become better. And so if I was to change anyone, it would be the people that exist within the world and really helping them to transform their mind. The mind is so powerful. And if you could just change your mind and the way you look at things, you perceive things, you see things, let's just start with the way you think about yourself. Because if you change the way you think about yourself, then that change is going to manifest to looking very differently, walking very differently, sounding very differently. So if I could just do a magic wand, I would just wave it all over the 6 billion people that resides in this world and go, your mind has changed, your mind has changed, your mind has changed, and start giving out minds that want to do better for themselves, for their family, for the world, for the nation. That's what I would change.
That is so great. Because a lot of the world problems is because of how we feel about ourselves.
Yes.
When you really get down to it.
Yes.
Okay, so self-love is so important. And people don't feel good about themselves. And so they're hurt, and then hurt people. Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And fear, out of fear, people are doing things out of fear and hurting other people out of fear. So if we
Exactly.
can come back to ourselves and get our minds right,
Get our
right?
minds right.
Have our
Mm-hmm.
minds renewed. This is so. I just was same as having this conversation with God today.
Okay. Okay.
always asking the Lord, please renew my mind. Like, give me,
Mm-hmm.
fill me with your spirit. What is it that you would have within me? Give me a better heart. Give me a clean heart. Okay.
Exactly.
And take me out of the situation, take me out of the equation, because it's all about his purpose, right?
Exactly.
Yes. So we thank you, Tasheka Green, for coming
Thank you,
on
Shanté. I
today.
enjoyed myself today, and I look forward to joining you at another time as well, and making the connection and collaboration. Because, like I said, when purpose connects with purpose, it
Yes.
produces powerful connections and collaboration. So, thank you again for this opportunity, and I thanked everybody, but I want to. I thank God, I thank my pastor, I thank all the people that helped me, but I truly want to thank my husband, who is watching. So thank you to my husband, my partner, my armor bearer, my number one supporter. Thank you so much. I love you, and my wonderful children. Because I even, I haven't shared this, but it's a family affair. It's not about me. It's a family affair that I'm just trying to teach my family the principles of what they need in order to have a legacy.
That's fantastic. And tell us again, tell our audience again what you do, who you serve, and how they can contact you. And she will leave her information in the comments after the show, but just
Yes.
let them know what you're doing again, how they can reach you.
Sure, most definitely. So again, my name is Dr. Tasheka L. Green. I am the president, CEO, and founder of To Everything There's a Season Incorporated. We take your dreams, turn them into a vision, and help you to turn it into a reality by providing you with the structure, the systems, and resources to walk in purpose and achieve greatness. I can be reached you can go to our website, www.2eseasons.com. Our phone number is 1-866-475-3178. You can find me on all social media links, Tasheka Green, 2E Seasons, or To Everything There Is a Season. And we are here to educate you, to coach you, and inspire you to greatness.
That is awesome. And again, I am your host, Shanté R. Roddy. We thank Tasheka Green for coming on, for really, oh Lord, sharing a powerful word and sharing her
Thank you.
journey. If you did not catch this, come back for the replay. If you were here, you enjoyed it, you empowered and inspired, please share out the broadcast. We are here every Thursday at 1 p.m. live Eastern Standard Time. Like I said, if you did not catch the show live, it's available for the replay. If we did not get to answer any of your questions, I see a lot of you have commented. Thank you so much. We will be available after the show to engage with you and answer any questions that you may have. If you would like to be a guest, we have some openings in March. So you can feel free to apply on our website at www.intuitiveriskmanagement.com. There's also opportunities to be a show sponsor, where we give you a banner and you have a promo post. We give you a live shout out. So if you are a business owner, entrepreneur, and you love supporting the small business community, we would love to have you on as a sponsor and promote you as well. So again, I thank every one of you for tuning in. This is so exciting. All of you guys, I hope you're empowered and inspired to go take the information today, okay? And go pursue your dreams. Until next time, we'll see you next Thursday.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Have a good one, everybody. Be blessed. Thank you.